Welcome back everybody, it's your boy Sleepy Boy here, back at it with another No More Future episode. If you're new to this channel, please feel free to smash that subscribe button, like, comment, share to your friends and loved ones. If you're not new, support this video by watching it up to the end, or support the whole channel basically by watching my other videos. Other than that, let's get back to it. Yup. Let me guess, and I remember I read this before I ended it. I ended the last episode, correct? Yep. Yeah, I didn't like the atmosphere of the place is all. Too stiff, too boring. Wait, too fake. The city or people? In general, I mean, it just wasn't the right place or environment for me. So I took the first chance I got and fled as far away as I could. Sounds like she had a lot more to unpack than just her luggage upon arriving here. As much as she's trying to play along, it's clear that she's not very happy to talk about these things. Maybe you still don't know her well enough to properly have this discussion right now, which is quite understandable considering you literally just met. Yeah? You should probably get back to the original topic while you still can. Well, I'm happy you're somewhere nicer now. You seem to really enjoy this place. Her voice does a complete 180 as she hastily replies to her remark. Yeah, this place rocks. You should totally hit me up next time you come visit. I can show you around. There's the old district, the museums, Gibson Park. Ah, who am I kidding? Let's just go to the amusement park downtown. There's an amusement park? Like in the city? Yeah, it's built almost like a real housing district, but it's actually chock full of stands, shops, and super cool rides. Okay, that sounds fun. I'm already imagining it right now. There's an arcade, a bumper cars venue, and even a roller coaster that travels through the buildings via the windows. Alright, that sounds fun. Like you can even travel around with mini carts. It's gotta be the coolest amusement park in the world, right? You can feel the canine's excitement from all the way over here, and you have to admit that it's rubbing off on you pretty fast. It really does sound like a lot of fun. I've never gone to an amusement park before, so it'd be fun to go check it out with you one of these days. Yes! We're gonna have so much fun, Isaac! Oh gosh, I can't wait to ride the roller coaster with you. First timers make the funniest noises. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? As the Labrador laughs at your indignated question, you find yourself laughing as well. You're not sure whether it's the mental image of you crying like a baby on a roller coaster, causing it, or Natalie's overwhelming personality, but you simply can't stop laughing along with her. For a second, you can almost imagine yourself having fun like a normal human and feel the wind gliding on your skin as you scream and shout into the air. As the giggles begin to subside, you take one long look into your synthetic hand outstretched before you. You inspect it from top to bottom, taking notice of every tiny detail in its design. The light and squishy textures of the palm, the sharpness of the gem-like claws, the stiffness of the contraptions near the joints. As you try opening and closing it rhythmically, try to feel every sensation, the seemingly pointless act stirs up in your mind. You can't help but wonder. What you wondering, Does it truly feel the same as it once did when you still lived? Oh, another existential question. Yeah. Or is it just how, program how to feel, or what other people assume how it feels, Hey, what you thinking about now? Nothing, I was just lost in thought. Sorry, I probably shouldn't be talking about all this exciting stuff while you're busy walking home. I don't want to distract you or anything. It's okay, you're fine. I like being distracted. Plus, I found that whole talk about the amusement park and stuff very exciting. It's definitely something to look forward to for sure. Really? Well, I'm glad you're already looking forward to that. But for real, let's not get too ahead of ourselves, shall we? We still have a train we need to catch. You're right about that. Speaking of, how long till we get there? Hey now, don't you start it. I'm usually the one who asks, are we there yet? Don't try to steal my job. The two of you keep teasing each other as you continue heading towards your destination. As we're walking, a delightful breeze steers up from below. Caressing your sun-dappled body all over with its cool, delicate touch. Perhaps it doesn't feel quite the same as it used to, or maybe it does and you can't tell. But for now, as you whimsically chat the evening away with Natalie, you're content, just feeling at all. Alright, back to the train station. We finally reach the train station, still bustling with activity despite the late hour. Ready to finally embark on your brief journey home? You notice that Natalie has become rather quiet for a while. Either she's busy with something or she's doing her best not to bother you. You wander into the main hall outside the station proper, surrounded by all kinds of shops filled with overpriced goodies. Polo boards everywhere swarm you with unwanted ads for products you can't bring yourself to care about. You try to look away from all that nonsense, but the only place that's not littered with them is the floor. To be fair, it's not as big of a deal now that your eyes can't be damaged by all this light pollution, but it's quite annoying to look at nevertheless. The memories from earlier that morning come back at you once again as you walk those echo-infested halls. In spite of your efforts to forget it, you begin to relive your awful encounter with those conceited police officers. You shudder as you look around, cautious of any blue vests hiding behind the corners. As far as you can see, there doesn't seem to be any of them prowling about. For now at least. You pray your return home will be quiet and uneventful as much as your new circumstances allow it to be anyway. As you pass through the checkpoint gate, still wondering about that accident, you reflexively reach into your pockets for a train ticket, only to realize that the gates already open as soon as you step near them. While you run a hand down your face in utter embarrassment, Natalie suddenly decides that it's the perfect time for her to chime in. I'm sorry, were you trying to reach for a physical ticket? Yeah. Isaac still uses the train tickets like one of those weird old people. I already heard it all before. No, I'm not judging. I really liked them when I was younger too. The artworks that they printed in the back were just the prettiest. You use them too? Oh no, my old auntie just used to collect them back in Washington. I often spent time with her when I was little, so I practically know her entire collection by hand. That doesn't make you feel any less antiquated, no. I guess I was just surprised. I figured everyone had already moved on to the digital ones like a century ago. Everybody uses integrated smartphone tech these days, or just integrated tech in your case. Right. Well, the ticket machines are still here for anyone who wants to use them, though I doubt anyone even glances at them anymore. It's interesting, so it's optional. You can buy a physical ticket or do what everyone else is doing, which is like what we're doing right now. We can in the Philippines we have GCash. I believe you have Cash App in the US. I might be wrong on that one. I'm not sure what they have in Japan, but you can pay things cashless in a sense, or like it's not really virtual money because you're still depositing the money in a convenience store or bank or payment center. Yeah, that's interesting to think about. I like to think I'm one of the only people in the country who knows how to operate one, aside from the average nursing home resident, I mean. As far as I know, you very well may be. I always thought they were just there as like a memorial to the past or something, like an impromptu street museum. How long do you think it has been since they actually changed the paper for the tickets inside? I bet a pizza with Mary the other day that it was about 50 years ago. Why would the two of them bet on something so random? Do they do this often? Wait. Your grin widens as you realize that the time of your life has finally come. All that meaningless trivia you learned over the years is about to pay off right here, right now, fam! Close but not quite. As of today, it's been 67 years and 11 months, down to the wire. The Labrador's reaction is decidedly overblown, but nonetheless greatly appreciated by your ego. Really? No way! You're totally making this up, aren't you? Nope. That's the day the station was fully renovated and much of the old machinery was scrapped. They were supposed to get rid of the ticket dispensers too, but they forgot and nobody's felt like moving them since. My aunt told me this story a couple of times at least. You can check it if you want. She's never wrong when it comes to this stuff. You hear the sound of furious keyboard tapping on the other side of the call, only for it to be soon replaced by a long defeated sigh. You didn't somehow figure out how to look things up on the web on your own, did you? That implies that Arthur actually bothered to teach me during our brief time together, which, yeah, right. Honestly, it's surprising how many odd bits and pieces of trivia I retained during the transition. I half expected to lose most of my memories in the process, maybe even come out completely different. But as far as I know, I'm mostly the same as I was when I first entered that tube. Assuming everything worked as intended, of course. You're not supposed to lose any memories during the transfer. No, it kind of ruined the entire process if something like that were to happen. I mean, imagine if someone were to lose all of their memories during the transition, it'd be the same thing as saying we only transferred a small part of that person. Some would even argue that we would have reincarnated a different person entirely. A person isn't defined just on a few key traits or experiences. It's the sum of everything that we are that makes us us. Damn. That makes you think, huh? You weren't expecting such a thorough explanation to your question, truth be told, but knowing all that does put some of your worst worries at ease for the time being. Yeah, that also puts my worries at ease if we try to define what us means, really. What makes a human human? Huh, I guess that makes sense. Still, I'm pretty impressed you knew the answer to that bet. I guess I owe you a pizza, huh? Well, since you're offering, I think I'll have one with sausage, pepperoni, and blue cheese. Roger that. I'll write it down somewhere, eventually. Maybe we can have that the next time you come over, unless you'd rather we head to a pizzeria for that dinner night you were planning one of these days. Just thinking about it makes me embarrassed. I can still hear Mary's laughter in my head. That's the effect Mary has on people. Yeah, if it consoles you, I found it cute. You did? Yeah, I mean, it's not the first time someone invited me out for dinner, but it was the first time someone tried to do that as a friend. Well, you can feel your cheeks getting warmer as you try to look away from Natalie's invisible gaze, only to hear a girly chuckle on the other end of the call. That said, if you still find that embarrassing, I'm fine just having something over the lab the next time you visit. Yeah, I'm down for that. Count me in. As the two of you laugh alongside one another once again, you think back on your time with Natalie so far. First an invite to an amusement park, now take out to the lab. She definitely doesn't shy away from the idea of spending more time alongside you. You wonder how much of it is due to her desire to be your friend and how much depends on her interest in you as a synthetic. By the way, how come you relied on them so much back then? Train tickets, I mean. Oh, that? It's a long story. I have time, if you want to talk about it, that is. Aw. You sigh as you prepare yourself to relive those old memories of yours. It's fine. Long story short, my parents were paranoid of most forms of technology, like real paranoid. Physical tickets, physical books, no internet access unless absolutely necessary. Well, that's interesting. They were old-timey like that. Some of it was manageable, pretty cool even. I never thought real books could be so comfortable to read on compared to the digital textbooks I use in class. The rest, however, not so much. I mean, can you believe I only got my first smartphone when I was 16? They were so... Were? Natalie interrupts you in the middle of her rant, likely without even meaning to. Yeah, sorry, I guess you wouldn't know. Are they dead? That's what I'm assuming, fam. Dad died when I was 11, lung cancer, tumors run in the family or something like that. Fuck! Mom's still alive, but... A surge of dark thoughts resurfaces in your mind with the strength of a leviathan threatening to swallow you whole. Wow, very awesome, very poetic, man. You vigorously shake your head in a desperate attempt to suppress them, trying to stay focused solely on the conversation before you. We don't talk much, we haven't spoken since I underwent the transition. Or rather, we did, but it's complicated. It takes a while for Natalie to reply, but when she does, her voice sounds just as sad as yours. Oh my god, what is the effect on that on family? Most likely some won't really accept it, right? They'll be like, no, my son is dead. My daughter is dead. That's not my child anymore. There's something like that. And some people would be like, glad. Screw it, that's my child, yeah. That's a major debate. Is he? Or is Isaac still Isaac? I'm so sorry to hear that, Isaac, for making you relive all that stuff and everything. It's alright. Let's just talk about something else, shall we? Clear up my mind and all that. Yeah, good idea. And hey, speaking of other stuff to worry about, You're kinda holding up the line. You immediately turn your head around, surprised by Natalie's sudden remark. You finally notice that the line is indeed formed behind you. Several feet behind you, that is. Everyone's still giving you the cold shoulders and the puzzled, frightened looks, it seems. Even though there are other gates near you, nobody feels like entering the station while you're standing so close to them. Also, the train departs in a minute flat, so... Wait, what? Why didn't you say so earlier? I'm sorry, I didn't want to. Oh my gosh, there's no time, just go! You sprint past the gates as quickly as you can, ignoring the gasp of the shocked commuters behind you. You're glad you had a few weeks to get accustomed to your new robotic body and its differently sized limbs, as you have a feeling you would have tripped and crashed 3 or 4 times by now, otherwise. It's only through a miraculous stroke of luck that you managed to get inside the train right as the doors begin to close. You ran so fast you almost crashed against the wall opposite the entrance in your mad dash to the finish. Luckily, you somehow found a way to stop in time. Your legs must be even stronger than you imagined. That or you're blessed with remarkably good luck. Maybe both. You realize your breathing has become quite frantic after all that running, driven by the same subconscious impulses that governed your lungs back when you were human. Human, not human. It takes a moment of focus for you to steady your breath, but soon you're back to what you now consider normal. I think breathing, scratching, all those stuff when you're like a synthetic thing, it's all just subconscious, what you're used to, what your brain, I guess, is used to. That's still interesting to think about, not gonna lie. Such a strange reflex, though oxygen is somewhat necessary to your new body. Oh, or so you seem to remember. There should be no reason for you to start hyperventilating after a workout like that. You assume it's just an instinct your mind has carried over from your time as a being of flesh and bones. Much like many other quirks you still possess, in spite of the new, very different circumstances. Hey, you made it! I'm so glad! Natalie's voice yet again forcefully drags you away from your curious mind and back into the living world. That was way too close. We almost missed the last train home. Yup, that wouldn't have been fun. Sorry about that, by the way. I shouldn't have distracted you like that when we were already low on time. Time. Nah, you don't have to apologize. I did say I like to be distracted after all. You were just trying to help out. After a brief uncertain pause, Natalie speaks once again. Well, if you say so, I guess all I can say is thanks. Anyways, now that we're finally inside, how about we find a seat, assuming there are any left, that is. Yeah, sounds good. Start looking around. You could have sworn the carriage was almost full to the brim while you were desperately dashing to it earlier. However, all that remains now are a handful of careful bystanders that curiously watch you from the far corners of the carriage. The rest appear to have fled through the door to the next carriage over, which shuts with a click, 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 right as you lay your eyes on it. You thought it'd be different in your relay, but even here it seems as though very few people want something to do with you right now. It kinda makes sense because they all had some kind of Skynet kind of thing that happened, right? So people are now afraid of actual sentient AI, or someone who is not an AI but an actual person? Question mark? Huh, that's weird. I could have sworn there were far more people here before. It appears that Natalie's a little slower on the uptake than you are. Yeah, me too. You head towards the nearest empty seat, of which there are plenty, and let your body lazily collapse on top of it. You try not to pay heed to the annoying gazes of the few onlookers left, preferring instead to fix your eyes on the ever-shifting environments outside, much like you did earlier this morning. I guess everyone went to another carriage while we were talking. Seems to be that way, yeah. Why would they do that though? Was there an announcement on the intercom I didn't hear? Are the seats on fire or something? Is it? Don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's normal. The Labrador immediately quiets down at your comment, recognizing that this isn't an issue she should press any further. Yeah, no, non-issue. She probably already knows the answer to her own question anyway. Neither you nor her say another word for a while, content to simply wind down as you watch the rapidly changing scenery outside your window. This is gonna be one hell of a fast train, fam. The mag train, faster than a bullet train, if I recall. Or I don't know. I might be wrong on the lore on that one. That's interesting. Very interesting. What if all trains are like that? Your 20-minute train ride, as usual, would be like 5 minutes. Damn. Plains and plateaus, forests and hills, modern cities and rural settlements, a small snippet of the American landscape turned into an impressionist painting through the sheer speed of the vehicle you're riding on. It's definitely easy to lose yourself in the moment as you let those images clash and mingle in your head, overriding your every thought as they do so. Say, now that we have a moment, you almost don't notice Natalie's voice at first, so taken you are by the spectacle before you. Yeah, what's up? Oh, nothing. I was just wondering if you wanted to start working on some of your features already. The train's gonna take a while to get to its destination after all, and we're not going anywhere. Might as well save some time and get you a little more familiar with your systems. Well, I definitely wasn't thinking of doing that right now. I was planning just enjoying the view until I got home. Aw, that's kind of sad. Alright, I'm gonna end this video right here. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. If you're not new, you know the drill. And thanks for supporting this channel through and through. Other than that, I'll be playing other games. But I'm focusing on some games such as this to like finish it in the list. And then add more as time goes on. Might take a while. But other than that, thank you again. Stay safe. Good luck whatever you're doing. I'll be seeing you next episode or a different video. Bye!